Katie here. Welcome to my studio, which happens to be in my living room right now. But anyway, I decided that I wanted to make a folio journal kind of concoction and just have everything that I plan to utilize right there in front of me because again, once I'm sitting down, I'm kind of stuck behind the table. So you will see that I have anticipations of some samples of stamping, stencils, possibly. I may need to cut. I will probably need to hole punch. I have a scoring blade for my trimmer, which is off to the side, some distressing. I'm going to use scorched timber, adhesives, bone folder. So what am I making? Well, here are my paper supplies. I am from New York and I was born in Brooklyn, raised pretty much between Brooklyn, Bushwick area and Ridgewood, the Queens area. I now live out in East Islip, but my youth was spent in those areas mostly in doing those things that we do when we are from the hood, so to say. So what I did was I curated some items off the internet, and I wish I could make these digitals, etc., and really like have an option to kind of share them with you, but unfortunately that's not the case. So let me take out something extra that wasn't belonging there. What I'm going to make the journal from, let's go with that first, get that out the way, is hanging file folders. I've already cut off the metal piece that hangs from the file drawer, relatively to the same size. Okay, I don't know what size journal I'm going to be doing right now. I don't know how I'm going to augment this or change this up, but I plan to include these 5 colors. The MTA, which is the basis of getting around in New York, right? The Metropolitan Transit Authority, is basically like our lifeblood. When we are young and we are trying to see the city and get around, we travel the MTA. So these colors represent that to me because the train lines have different colors. Anyway, so we're gonna put that as the basis and we're going to add to that the items that I pulled out. So what I have is a stack here of images that I've printed out, changed up sizes. Oh, I need something else. And different colorings, different aspects of the MTA. So this is their logo. I plan to do some tags. I blew up what a subway station inside the train station looks like back in the day. I'm not sure. It's been a hot minute since I really took the train anywhere. Once I became an adult and had the car and everything, that was a wrap. And Metro cards were the thing. Of course, before Metro cards, yes, before Metro cards, there were tokens. So just got some of this stuff going on. I made these different sizes. This is a bus that I pulled. It's relatively the newish style, sort of. Try to get myself like a taxi-ish image. Some more of the types of transportation under the MTA. So there's buses, trains, etc. that go under that. These are the tokens. They were going from this way to this way. I think that's how they progressed in the years that they were out. I remember these. I do remember those. Not too familiar with those. I don't quite remember them, but hey, they're part of the history. Had to get some graffiti in there. Had to get the skyline. So, oh, here we go. Here's the actual thing. Yes, so 1970. I was born in 72. So definitely had saw some of those around. And these. And these. And then I think that's kind of when I petered off driving. Metro cards come in different colors. So anyway, I'm giving you a history lesson, I know. I just want to let you know the things that I'm pulling out. And our buildings, the different buildings that are in the city. Unfortunately, I don't have the Twin Towers because of what happened in here, and actually the Empire State Building is my favorite building anyway. So, picture of, you know, workers and stuff, and then I was able to grab from the website a lot of the maps. There are many maps. This is the full subway map. These are sections of the map. This is the late night map, etc. So I don't know how I'm gonna chop these up. This is another version of the subway map. And then I was able to also grab the time schedules, only to give a little bit of a variety to some of the way that things looked, and it wasn't be just all maps. So I've got the Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens, and Brooklyn. So these are our 5 boroughs. Okay, so I live basically here, but when we were a child, we would visit, you know, the Bronx Zoo. We would go to the Staten Island Ferry. We would go to Central Park. So these are all things of my childhood. I've been to all the boroughs basically. More subway because of the way that this looks and the colors than the black and white version. Then I was able to get the bus for each of the ones just to have something to represent each of the boroughs. Okay, and then of course we have Queens and we have Brooklyn somewhere in here. Hold up, I'm looking for Brooklyn. Where's my Brooklyn? I don't think I made the Brooklyn big, but Brooklyn was big and Queens was big. So got the Brooklyn small. So I was changing up the different sizes. So we're gonna see what I can come up with using this. Now, to me right now, showing it all, whew, seems very overwhelming. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it in one complete video. So I'm going to try to figure out the construction of the journal folio, journal/folio, and get some of the stuff completely cut up and what I'm gonna lay out where. So I know that I wanted to incorporate these and add some other things to it. So there are some little bits in here. So I printed out some of the things that are important to me. Ridgewood is a big city in Queens that I lived in for a while. Back in Bushwick, Tony's Pizzeria was the spot. Glendale was another area in Queens. Coney Island, my childhood. Central's the avenue that we hung out. So I want to add these little elements to some of the pages. Specifically, when I have pages in Brooklyn, I'll put some Manhattan, I'll put a couple, etc., etc. Also, I have a kind of like a title, so bringing in my scrapbooking kind of vibe. I have words printed out here that are graffiti-esque, ransom-esque, but we'll see how that I'm going to incorporate those. So right now, what I need to do is kind of figure out what it is that I want the journal to look like. I bought some cracked kind of just grunge of the city, some tire kind of prints, some coffee kind of stuff there. I have this large brick pattern, but I also have a couple of this little stamp here that I saw and I was like, oh, this is more my, like, I think this might be more what I would want to kind of highlight a few things. And then just to have variety, I have some music, book paper, coffee dyed, and I have some just random word paper just as layering possibly. And I just need one more punch. So I'm going to move the table, roll over my punches so that I could grab, not this one. I need a circle punch. I need the 1.5 inch. Where is it? Nope, that's not it. Is this it? Let's see. Yes, this is the 1.5. Okay, cool. So let's talk about this. So there are 5 boroughs. So I definitely want to cover, and I want at least a spread or so for each of the boroughs. And I have the 5 colors. Now, I also plan to create some journal cards and tags, like I said, out of the different elements in here, to be able to put some journal writing in reference to the experiences of my childhood. So my favorite color is green, as well as red. And I want to figure out how to put this on. So I can go through like having, well, I don't want it this long. So let's see. This right now is about 11 3/4 by about 8. So I'm not sure if I want to make it, I don't want to make it a square. I want to make it to be long, but I don't want it to be that long. So I'm thinking about maybe 9 inches long, but then I would need to kind of cut it down. And that's fine because I can easily just tuck these in. So where this line seems to be, seems to be this natural line from there, that would make this 6. So maybe like a 9 by 6. I think that could work. So my vibe is like, I feel like I want to fold it up to the 9, and then I will have automatic pockets for at least the purple, and maybe every other one have an automatic pocket, and then go from there. I will need to kind of stitch it together, which would have to be at the end, because again, I don't mind if it flaps open. There's not going to be that much in here. So let's do that. Let's try to get it at 9. And I know that I could just fold it over, fold it up, whatever the case is, but because I'm going to have so many of them, I kind of want to have it precisely. So I'm taking out my trimmer, this Tim Holtz trimmer. I love the Tim Holtz trimmer with this thing that it pops up, but let me tell you something. This whole having to take the blades out, it needed to be like 1 inch or 2 longer. Okay, so let me get up to 9. So if you can see some of it, I'm just opening up the arm so that I can measure out to 9. I'm gonna make a mark here. So I'm gonna fold the purple one, so that'll be the outside. The next one in, let's see, purple, then blue. So let's see, purple, then blue, then yellow. So what do I want the center to be? I think the center, maybe red. Let's see, red, and then the yellow, and then the green, and then the purple is on the outside. I don't know, what do we think about that? So that means that I want to put a pocket on the purple, the yellow, and the red. And then I'm just going to cut the other 2. So let's take out this and let's take out that so that we can actually put the little score mark. So at least I know where the 9 is, and then I'll take care of folding that by hand and burnishing it and all that good stuff. So this is 9. So we're going to put this at 9. And then we're also going to put this at 9. Okay, so we'll make some pockets there, and we'll figure out once it's in there. These guys we're going to cut at 9, and then we can use the other pieces for something else. So I'm going to take out the scoring board thingy, and we're going to cut this at 9. So we have that piece, and we're going to cut this guy at 9. Okay, 9. All right. So the other thing is that I said that I wanted it to be 6, which seems to be where this guy is. So let's take a look. Do I want, right now I'm going to do them all as tucks. Should I do all of them as tucks? No, I'm gonna take off some of them. Okay, so I think we're going to use, to make it variety and to kind of change it up, I think these 2, because they don't have a pocket, I'm going to make them be like a tuck, so that they can tuck into on the side. So we'll have a combination of tucks and pockets, you know, from the bottom and from the left and the right. So I'm going to put this at 6, and I'm going to score the 6 for the blue and the green. Okay, and then I'm going to take a look at this. So now, the green is inside the yellow, right? And then the red, and then the blue. I know that wasn't what I said before, but I just want to see something. So this thing here coming out here. So this, the three that are longer, I have to figure out where they're going to be so that they won't stick out like that. Can I deal with that after the fact? Let's not do that. So let's see. Purple, then blue, then I think, then the red, then the green, then the yellow. So I want that. It's pretty much the only options really. So okay, that means that the purple, the red, and the green, they all need to be slightly different in width so that they don't stick out when they close. So this is the order. Okay, I'll put that to the side. So know that I want them to be 6, but the 6 is going to be when it's folded, so I kind of want to have it maybe at 6 1/4 right here. I'm going to change this out again to have the length. And so even though I'm into this whole junk journaling thing and I want to use the aesthetics of it, I am a scrapbooker and paper crafter, card maker, so I like measurements for now. So this is 6 1/4. We can use this for something else. I'm going to then cut this one. I'm going to go to 6 1/4, and then I'm going to tuck it in just slightly. And then this one is going to do the same thing. I'm going to do 6 1/4, and then I'm going to come in even more, almost to get to 6. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Okay, so we've got our purple, our red, and then our green. Okay, so we do not see them past the purple, and that looks good. And then when we get the other guys set up, let's see how that's gonna play. Let's see. So let's score. This is scored. We're gonna fold it in. Oops, fold it in. Fold it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this guy's gonna be the next one on top of the red. Just wanna see if he's peeking out too much. Nope. And then the green one. Okay, that's gonna work. So, I am gonna probably bring that out again because I'm gonna need to figure out the panels that go here. So let's get these set up and burnished. Nice. So I'm gonna get this guy nice and flat. I'm gonna get this one nice and flat. And then I'm gonna do the green one for the pockets on the side. And then I'm gonna do the pockets for the bottom. Okay, so I am sitting in my living room on my little desk table. If you hear any jingles, that is just the door because it is a nice breezy day today and the door is open and you can hear the birds chirping. Okay, so I've got these two to make side pockets or side tucks. I probably will leave them going in like that because or maybe should I do them like this? I think I might do them like this. Yes, both of them like that, and then the backs will be more empty. Maybe I'll leave spots for photos. I don't know. I don't really have access to my photos from back in the day. I mean, I do, but I don't. But I wasn't trying to add photos in here. I wanted it to be more graphical with some journal writing. Now with these, I'm going to fold this up and let's just burnish that for now. Since it doesn't sit well, I am going to have to miter this slightly and then figure out how to glue it down. Let me do the red one. Okay, get this guy up. And then we're going to check the fit again. Okay, so this is going to be, like I said, part 1 of my little journey. I'm hoping that it won't take more than like 3 parts, and I'm hoping if you're here checking me out that you'll come back. It'll be the next 3 videos that I'm doing. It will not be that I am going to be jumping around doing anything else than this, other than this. Okay. Been making a ton of things. So let's see how this looks. We've got the purple, then the blue, then the red, then the green, then the yellow inside. Okay, so it does still push it out slightly. So, because I had the other 2 that I was not thinking about. But actually it's not that bad. And when this bulk gets taken out, when I do the mitering of these guys, then I should be okay. Alright, so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There's 20 sides or 20 pages to this. So, what do I want to start with? Well, let me first get this bulk out of here because this is going to drive me crazy. Having this thing where I pretty much cannot close this properly. So, what am I going to do? There are lines here. I wasn't trying to make this a thicker journal. Like I said, it's going to pop up on a little bit. It's going to probably be a little bit of an alligator mouth, but that's all right. I'm not mad at that. But I need the pockets to lay flat, and I think if I miter them and they're not mitered here, it might look weird. So I think I'm going to go down this straight line here and the straight line here and just cut out this like 1/2 inch that's there. Or maybe I should just do it with a scissor. Should I do it with a scissor? Okay, that's going to make my life easier as well when I'm trying to figure out the panels that go here, there, and everywhere else. Which, now that I'm thinking about some of the things that I took and put together, I never considered how long this was going to be. But that's okay. It'll all work out. Yeah, so you know what? I'm going to need to just grab some scissors. So I'm going to MacGyver myself some scissors from where I'm at. Because, again, I forgot to bring something. Okay. Oh, no. Here we go. We're going to use the shoehorn to reach over there to get my scissors. All right, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Got my scissors. All right. So I think it's going to do the scissors. I don't know if the blade is going to help me out too much. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cut down this line that was not scored, but is there from the original right here. Okay. I also want to then cut it off because I don't need it. And then so we'll cut that off. Gently, gently, don't cut into the other one. I should probably get the other one out the way. That would be helpful. That'd be safer. Okay. Okay. Then, of course, I want to ink all of this up. So this little white piece that shows, not a big deal. So that'll get that bulk out. Let me do it to the other 2. So again, I'm using the lines that are available for me to see. Ooh, this yellow one's not that easy to see. And let's see here. And this one is over here. Okay, so, woo. Anyway, a little crooked, but it's okay. It's not that bad. It's gonna look fine. We're gonna decorate it. We're gonna zhuzh it up, and it's gonna look fine. And then now again, I don't know how many times I'm gonna put these together and put them in, put them out, put them in. But you know, let's see. I should have looked at the clock to make sure what time I started, but I'm just gonna get some of these things situated, and then we'll have a stopping point. And I would appreciate any comments that you may have. I need to kind of put together what the ephemeras See what I did? See what I did? Anyway, can't know nothing about that. I only have one folder. But when I glue down the sides, I'll have these pockets, plenty of stuff that can go in it, memorabilia, etc., etc. And the same thing with these tucks. I'll be able to stuff a bunch of stuff into it. So, from what I've done already, we have this ruler. Where is it? Inches. So it is 6 by 9. Again, I should know this. That's what I told you guys from the beginning. So 6 by 9. And with the 6 by 9, I'm going to ink up. I like a dark inking. I would have used, what is it called? Black soot. But I decided to go with a scorched timber because it is darker, and to me it does have this like greenish tinge. And when I think of the city and I think of, you know, back in the day, I think of greenish tinge. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna need to compare some of the things to here. So now I do have these items here that I could definitely make into an additional pocket or something of that nature. I could make into a belly band on the back side of another item. I need to just decorate this in some way. So the bright colors are not getting to me that much. Oh, I could actually, you know, I could actually just like ideas. Okay. I want to start with I don't know, like I don't want to do it alphabetized. Can I do it alphabetized? If I do it alphabetized, it's going to be Brooklyn, M-N-O. So no, it would be the Bronx, then Brooklyn, then yeah, I'm so bad. But that's why I say I teach math, because sometimes the words just escape me. So it would be the Bronx and Brooklyn, then it would be Manhattan, then Staten Island. I mean STUV, No, then it'd be Queens and Staten Island. So Staten Island would be in the middle. It's not really my thing. So I feel like I need to kind of have the ones that are my cities, like where I have the most connection, I guess. I should have the pockets so that I could put the journaling cards and stuff like that. So I may just need to just do that. So let's mess up. Where did I mess up here? This is one. Then the pocket. Wait, is it this red in the middle now? I'm a mess. No, the red, and then the yellow goes in here, and then the purple's on the outside. Let's see. Nope, that does not feel right. What happened here? ¿Qué pasó? No, wait. Oh, I don't have this inside the red. That's why. I was like, wait a minute, something's totally off. Okay. So, let's see. Does this feel more like... Yeah, that feels more like what it was supposed to be. So maybe, again, lacking of stuff, I need to write something with to write. I'm going to write down what I'm going to put. So I think that I'll put Manhattan here. Manhattan. I'm going to just write it because I'm going to cover it anyway. Manhattan, right? And then this is going to be let's see. I'm going to put Staten Island SI. And then I'm going to put what is this? Staten Island. I can do the Bronx. Could do the Bronx. So you know what? Actually, this should, all of these days should be Manhattan, because I have, what is it, 20 pages? Hello, 5 boroughs. So let's try to do 2. Wait, 2? Right? 5 boroughs, so 4 pages, right? Now see, I'm a math teacher and I'm having trouble with math. 5 boroughs, 20 pages, 4 of them. So we'll do the first 4 pages will be all about, you know, have Manhattan theme on them. So the subway map, right? Then we will have see, I feel like Staten Island, and that should be like towards the back because yeah, I'm gonna put Staten Island, Staten Island, Staten Island, Staten Island, and then we'll put Staten Island stuff down here. Okay, then the Bronx. The Bronx is not a big thing either for me, so we'll put the Bronx. We'll put the Bronx, and then the Bronx. And then the rest of these will be for Brooklyn and Queens. So we're going to put Brooklyn, and then Brooklyn, Brooklyn, and then Brooklyn. Is that 3 or 4? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Queens. 1, 2, 3. Oh wow, Queens is yellow. Alright, so that's what we're gonna do there. Okay. So you know what? I wanna test out how this thing is gonna look. This scorched timber. And of course I dropped my dauber on the floor. Let's try it in a couple of different spots. So we're gonna pad this out and we're gonna see how this looks. Okay, yes, this is how heavy of an inker I am. Like, I want to see the ink. I can be aggressive. Be aggressive. I need to stop being so aggressive. I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm gonna ink this whole thing up like it's a belly band. For it, I'm gonna just probably use this on another back of something. Yeah, now I'm getting a little sloppy. So I'm gonna use this as a belly band. So I'm going to do this to it. Now, I don't know if I should incorporate traditional like labels and things of that nature that are vintagey, because this is not about vintage. This is about my youth, and yes, that is a vintage time back in the 70s and 80s, but I don't know. Let's see here. I'm just gonna, you know what, let's test a couple things and then we will see. So this is going to be the first little test of something. I don't have my block right now because, again, I trap myself behind a desk, and that's not, and I know that distress ink isn't always the best thing to stamp with, and stamping on something without a, what do you call it, a backer is also not a good thing. So let me try to add some gush to this, or whatever. Got some coffee papers here. Give myself a little bit of yes, okay, so yeah, definitely needed to work on that. Again, this is just a test strip on here, but I do like it. These are not the most expensive. This was an Amazon set, so it is what it is. I'm not mad at it. It's, you know, it's trial and error. Okay, and plus, this is a distress ink. If I had myself a nice dark go-to ink, we'd be fine. We'd be fine. So I think what I'm gonna do is right now, let's just ink up the edges of the pages. How about that? Let's see. We just tried. Here we go. I'm not gonna add too much to this. Let's go right here. Now, in reference to maybe how do you call it? Doing rounding of the corners or something. I have a light corner rounder right there that I might want to do, and I am going to put panels, so if I get a little bit too far in, I just want to take back some of that color, at least on the pocket a little bit. And yes, so yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna have you sit here watch me ink these all. So I'm going to ink the one on all the areas that should be inked, and then go from there. So we're inking everything a little bit here. I need to, hold it back a little bit. Okay, now this is the outside, so I will ink the spine a little bit. I don't know if I would ink the inside spine because they will tuck into each other, so it's not like, right, there we go. See. Now when I ink this, I'm also going to ink the image that I'm gonna stick down. Now, to give it the more grunge, I don't know if I should kind of, how do you call it, be precise in the cutting of the papers I mean, everything is printed on copy paper, and there's going to be, of course, a lot of white in here, but I don't know if I should just like tear it, so it has a little bit more roughness to it than a very straight edge. That might be interesting. I can always come back and distress this like an actual distress, with a scissor or something like that. But yeah, I just want to get a sense of how this is going to look. So, and yeah, there's a lot of inking that needs to be done here. So let me just, so we can just see one and kind of go from there. Why am I trying to ink the same thing I just had inked already? Because I am nervous. I've never done a tutorial or show you like this. I've done card videos on a different channel way back in the day, and this is a new venture for me, but I want to give it my all. I want to give it to my all. Okay, so let's take a moment to look at this, and then let's see what we're gonna do here. So this is our cover, and so we have a little bit of inking with the purple. I want to put something of Manhattan here, and then I also want to put the other item that I have here that I wanted to include was the little thing that says New York. So let me show you a couple of options. Where are you? Where do you be? Where you be? Okay, it's in this pile. Yeah, so I definitely want to include this on the cover, and I have another one that I can include somewhere else. I can include that, but I think I need to fussy cut it, but I'm not 100% sure. The other thing that I was thinking of, where are you? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay, no, you know what? Duh, it's a map. I wanted to put a map, one of the maps, the Manhattan, on the, or the full subway map, rather. So full subway map on the front and possibly the back. So even though I kind of planned out like, oh, Manhattan, Staten Island, it's just for like things of reference, because I did have some stuff in here about the places that we had gone to as a child, right? So yes, and the thing is that some of these do not have all of the cities in them. I like this one. The black and white one is cool, but I could do a writing card with that. This is nice, but again, these ones that aren't full but they're bigger with the things I could do writing cards with. So it's like something like this, right? So I wanted to include on the front, right, the city of New York, the subway, whatever map. I also have Manhattan, just Manhattan, or you know what, just maybe I might just wind up just mixing this all up together, even though I wrote those little cities all over the place, because I also have the bus map of Manhattan, and I would do this side of it because I mostly I went to college here. And oh, that's not, I still have some more of the, like I keep coming up with ideas. Like I want to place these, you'll see. So, but I want to use what I've already printed for this. So I'm thinking maybe I take the black and white one and put it as the cover, because I am going to cover a good amount of this. I don't know if I wanted to have like that ripped torn effect, because I don't know how that would look. So let's see. I'm just going to take a piece of this, right? So I feel like I could do that. It'll give it that something something, and then some of the other items can be cut nicer, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna need to kind of see if this works. I'm gonna need to kind of know where I'm cutting. So this is more or less the full book, right? And so therefore, if I want the white part to be showing, right, I need to pull it towards me or pull it away from me. I think I need to go like this. Okay, let's start with, let's just go. Let's get a cover on there, and then we'll go from there. So I'm just gonna do that because I want that edge to have the white. Okay, yeah. And I just forgot what I did. Oh, I want to push this away from me. I want to push a little bit away from me. And yeah, so this is going to be the look. There's going to be the look. I'm going to ink it up a little bit here and there. But yeah, no solid edges, because you know we're supposed to be rough and tumble living in the city, New York and whatever. And I grew up in Bushwick, which was like, people were like, "Oh my God, you're from Bushwick? How could you be? How did you survive?" And I'm like, I don't know. There was no big deal about Bushwick. So we have one corner here, so I'm gonna go a little bit in here so that I can get a little more smaller. I don't want to get like too out of the shape. I still want to stay kind of rectangular. And then let's see, right? And then gonna need to be about here. Okay. Oh my goodness. No, there we go. Let's see how that looks. So I don't mind the top. This needs to be thinned out a little bit. Okay, so let's do that. So I don't know, guys. What do you think? What do you think about that? What do you think? It's getting too narrow. But I also don't want it too straight either. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm not mad at that. I think that that's actually pretty good. I don't keep a lot of things as scraps, especially things that I printed like this. I consider this like a digital. So now let's just take a little bit of inking to the edge to have that, you know, kind of thing, so that we can see if this is what we're going to do for most of the pages. And yeah, so not as much ink, but it's there. I like that. What do you guys think? I'm liking that. So I did want to have like a title page, like, and I'm gonna just go for it. I'm gonna just do it, and yeah, okay. I'm just cutting out that NYC that I showed you earlier. I'm tearing it out. I don't think we're using scissors today. Okay. So now I'm like, wait, how do I go around this edge? Okay. I don't know if I want to use more than one of them. So I'm just, you know, and now I gotta tear the opposite way so that I can get the white over here. Okay. And then we'll fix that up in a minute. I am gonna cut this down because I don't want to waste this. Maybe I might use it. I'm not sure yet. So let's cut this off here. Okay, so we have this for later. And yeah, I need to just get some of this off. So we have NYC over here. Do I have to take off these little edges? I think so. I'll go really, really tiny and hope I don't lose the whole thing, right? Again, all right, that wasn't so bad. And then on this side, And I think I'll layer some book page or something like that just to add that other set of colors. Okay, so we have this. I don't know where this is from. It's just an element to have in here. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I have some? Do you want to help? I don't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to have some of this element, this journal, like junk journal vibe to it. Which would be book paper and music. Maybe music might be better. Now the music is another big thing growing up. Now, but the music sheets that I have are from like Disney. So that's not gonna be, you know, very what do you call it? So I could do something like that because, you know, music, New York City, that's a thing, I believe. Yeah. So I think I want to kind of do something like that, but I think I need to tear it up. So let's go. Let's rip it up here. We're doing the ripping again, right? So we'll have that. And then I hopefully can fit what I had printed out. So, yes, this is going to take a while. I wonder how long this is going to take. Let me show you what I was thinking, and hopefully it fits. I don't know if it's going to fit now because this is just for the front. Might not. Let's see. I'm gonna do it, you know, just rando style. I mean, the map is there. It's getting hidden by a lot, but the vibe is there, and then I'll get more details inside. Where's my, okay. Yeah, this might be too big. Yes, that's too big. So, where's the other one? Oh, yours. So this is way too big. What I think I'm gonna need to do is to cut them out, fussy cut the white away because these are stickers, and then they will probably fit a lot better. So we are gonna put that there, but right now, not right now. Not today, not right now. All right. So you know what? Since you're here and you stood, let's just put the cover on here. I'm gonna take some glue stick because, you know, it's a big area. I'm using the interior of the page as my glue page because, you know, we have that option right now. I want to make sure that I get this good and covered. I need to change to the purple version so that we can see it. So this is upside down. Okay, and we're going to place that here. And we're going to place it down. Ooh la la. Okay. Now it's a little lifted over here. So I'm gonna try to get some in there. I don't know how I missed that corner, but, or the edge rather. And then we have this. Okay. The book page. So I'm going to not get it on, hopefully, Manhattan, but let's put that here. Okay. And probably not the smartest to put this down prior to the words, but I'll make the words fit. This guy is going to go here. I need to ink it. Where's my inker? Because I didn't knock down some of this white on here. And we're gonna go here. Okay, and then again we're going to put some glue on all of this. We're going to glue this guy down. Straight. I'll do straight for now. I don't mind crooked, but I'm gonna just keep everything straight. So we got the beginnings. There are a couple of more things that I wanted to add to the front, so I'm gonna go as we go along. I'm gonna do it. And I made, now these coins, these tokens that I showed you are not to size, not to scale, but when I found them on the internet and I put them on the page and I said I was going to use them as ephemera or decor, I did want to kind of see that I could get them onto the page and not have to fussy cut. So they were made a little bit bigger than probably I tried to make them big enough for the one inch punch. And this guy here, I don't know, I don't recall this one, but we will take him too. So just 3 of those guys, right? And so I want to add them on here as a little bit of decor and decoration. Going to ink away the white. And we're going to put them as a little, I guess, cluster, right? Somewhere down over here, because remember, this is, we have title up there that I want to put. Okay, and then, yes. Now the white in the center does bother me a little bit, but I don't know if I hit it with the, if that's gonna make it too much of a mess, you know. So that, let's see, we can always cut another one just to knock it out a little bit. Okay, it's a little, it's all right, it's okay, it's okay. All right. Oops, so I'm just coming over to the side over here where I have some tickets that I made, and just to have some place to like ground it. I wanted to kind of do something like that. It feels really big and kind of takes over the NYC of it all. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Maybe not all 3 of them. Maybe just the one that's most, you know, familiar to me. I can do that. And I do have some other little labels that I had made. And in other colors. So let's grab 2 more of those. Yeah, I know I'm so far away when I'm talking to you. I don't know about that. So, oh, they're both like vertical. Well, I can do that because I don't really want to show that there. So, yeah, let's make a little cluster with these. So I designed whatever, the Denison labels, and I have them in a bazillion colors, and then I started stamping. Why am I taking this one off first? Started stamping them with the different stamps that I have over the colors. I don't know if you see that, you notice that. It doesn't bother me. I don't know. What do you guys think about having that kind of like over the colors and stuff? And like even this, you know, it's over the blue, but does it really matter? Let's see, something like this maybe. I don't even know. I'm just making a little cluster with this token. Where's the token that I was going to use? This token? Maybe there? Yeah, probably. So I just need to get this sticker paper off here. I'm going to put this one there to there, straight, right, like that. And then we're going to use, I'm going to use some regular blue. I'm using this token because this is the one that I remember the most, using the most, versus the other one. So now we're just gonna pop that right here. Okay, so yeah, so that is my cover. and whatnot. Tuck, no. We will use this some other way, okay? And then we're gonna put this back in here for now. Okay. So let me say that if you've been watching so far, thank you so much for hanging out. I think I want to do a little bit more, I don't know, distressing in here so that it could peek out past the papers that I tear up. I don't know, what do you guys think? And stuff. Well, let me see how it looks because I'm gonna cover it anyway for now, right now. Right? How does this look? This was like around the edges. So we're gonna test a couple things right now just because, why not? Let's see the tire treads. I don't mind that. And that can go on top of maps as well. And then because, you know, we got tired when we were making this stuff, we've got our little coffee stains, which, you know, is a nice always go-to. Okay, so look. Anyway, all right. I'm going to figure out what's going to go on all the sides of the papers, and then we will be back to attach everything in the next video, and then or I'll attach all the bases, and then we'll do the embellishing, such as adding things to it. So I'm just gonna cut up all these papers that need to go where they need to go, and then we will, second video, you'll see those, and then we will talk about the other elements to add. So please come back for part 2. Until then, ciao ciao, bye.